Hello everybody. In this video, I will teach you how to write all of the wills of all of the roles you can get in Town of Salem 2. This video does have timestamps. Also, did you know that I can't find what my viewer to subscriber ratio is? Anyways, moving on. So, if you've been playing Town of Salem 2, you will likely have noticed something called a last will. This is essentially for you to put all the information you have gathered in that game. Now, I will teach you how to do it. First off, let's talk about the basics. On your first line, you put your role, preferably with a quick chat, then a colon. To not auto-enter something, press space twice. Below that, write N1 colon. This signifies night 1. You then put the person you visit and anything else that happened to you that night in parentheses. This is the most basic part of the will, and it will carry you through a couple of games. If a role isn't specifically mentioned, it either follows this pattern or is a town power role, or deputy. That being said, let's look at some complicated ones. Additionally, if you find something important or a killer attracts someone to a dead person, you can put an exclamation mark behind it, but that's up to the individual. Sheriff and Investigator are very similar in how they check things, so they have similar wills, but the terms are different. Sheriff finds people to look suspicious or innocent, and Investigator finds people with blood or no blood, so put those terms in your will, shorthand or normal. Coroner is a bit hard to write, so here's the details. Your results for finding someone suspicious are not killer or the role you find them as. Your autopsies are written in day format, and you write who you autopsied and who killed them, even if it's not killed by Coven. It makes it look more readable. Tracker is fairly simple, but has changed slightly since you can't use the arrow keys anymore. You now just say either target visited or visited, it doesn't really matter which. As lookout, I recommend fully spelling out visited by and no visit, so people don't ignore you or get confused. Just write down whoever visited your target. Psychic wills are quite hard to write out, so listen closely. The order that you put the numbers in doesn't really matter anymore now that the person forced to be in the vision is in a random spot, and the results just look cleaner with the person you visited put first. You put the person you visited in parentheses. This will get you hung if you do it wrong. Who you visited is a very important detail, and the parentheses are how you describe it. Seer wills are pretty simple. The terms to use are just friends or enemies. I'll be honest, a spy will is by far the most complicated will out there to write, given how diverse its results are. You need to show what happened to someone, so write that down. But for where and how you need to write it down, I'll make a list of things to follow. 1. If your bug doesn't trigger, don't reveal where it is. This is what bug not triggered means. 2. If your bug triggers, reveal what night you placed it. 3. If your bug triggers, say what happened to them in this format. Bug on 13, target was illusion. Or if you only got one trigger, optionally save some time by saying bug 8, target was doused in gas. 4. If multiple bugs trigger, go in chronological order, meaning earliest placed bugs to the most recently placed bugs. 5. If anything happens to you, put it after your bugs and put it in this format. I was role blocked, so people can see it wasn't just one of your bugged people. 6. Posting that your bug didn't trigger is info. Do not hide that will, but don't say who the bug is on. Just post every day as TI, no info is still info. You'll look so much more trustable. Clerics are only slightly more complicated than bodyguards. You just need to say how many times your target is attacked, and it's usually either 0 or 1. If nothing happens, no notes are needed. Also, you can add who attacked your target if you can risk whispering them and not outing yourself. Crusader. As a Crusader, there's a couple of things that can happen. Since you don't often need to post that quickly, you can use knowledge from after you see the graveyard to see who you killed, as in their cause of death is Crusader, and add it back into your will later. Also, add who attacked your target if you can risk whispering your target. Make sure to note that you didn't attack anyone if your target gets attacked, since there's only a couple of reasons your target wouldn't be visited. As a trapper, there's a couple of things that can happen. The confusing part for most is when to reveal where your trap is. You don't want to reveal your trap location, since some random coven can just trigger it and ruin everything. So only reveal where it was after it was triggered or attacked someone, or you're being pushed and just need to say everything. Also, the correct terms for your doing can vary, but it's usually building, trap placed, waiting, nothing, and rebuilding. Some people like to write Vigilante as organized by shots, but I prefer the classic style since it's better for note-taking. I'll show you how to write both. For the classic style, just write who you are shooting and whether or not they had defense. For the unique style, write where each one of your shots goes in each line. The unique style saves lines because it doesn't cover knights that don't mean anything, but the classic style is better to add in your own thoughts and suspicions. If I were you, I'd learn the classic style first. As veteran, you can write down if you alerted, if you shot anyone, and if you were attacked. Additionally, after the day ends, you can edit your will to show who you shot, because it will see someone was shot by veteran as their cause of death. Do be careful though, that veteran isn't unique, and you need to make sure that you put the people you shot and not a different veteran in your will. As a Retributionist, it's easy to clog up your will, so just write the role of the person you used, then your target, then your results. If you can't use anyone, write no dead or no usable dead, depending on if there's any dead town. As Admirer, your will is pretty simple. Just say who you proposed to, if they denied or accepted, and if they accepted and were evil, what role they are. It is also very important that if you propose to a town and they accept, do not reveal their number. You are very easy to kill and very valuable to kill now that you are lifelined. As a Socialite, you don't really need to do much. Just say when you party to make sure someone else can't steal your claim of holding a party. Monarch. Spread the word. Knighting Knight 1 is almost always significantly worse for town. Don't do it, never do it, just don't do it. Other than that note for Knight 1, it's pretty simple, just write down who you knight. As a Jailor, notes on how your targets look in jail are very important. Also, the most important thing you need to remember, do not say your target's full claim in your will. That will out them to the Doomsaying Ritualist once you're dead. That's all the roles. All I have left to talk about is note-taking. If you're going to take notes, there's no set format except to put them either after your will or after your results for that night. You can just put down your trusted people and your suspicions and really whatever you want to. You will learn how to make better notes the more you do it. Anyways, that wraps up the video. I hope this was educational and or fun. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!